This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Tuesday edition of a numbers game here on VSiN, the sports betting network. Matt Brown in for Gil. Continuing on for the rest of the week here. Kelly Bidlin alongside, as we will have a ton of great information on this show. Jake Hahn going to join us, talk all about Olympic hockey and some thoughts heading into the rest of the season. Matty Cox will join us, talk some college basketball. Drew Dinsick, fresh off of his ski/Olympic/whatever else trip you want to call it.
I thought he was going there to work, man. He was just going there to ski, have some fun, drink some wine. So, yeah, we'll catch up with Drew finally. He'll have some Olympics bets for us, I'm sure.
And then we'll have some soccer with Paul Carr as well.
The champions. Yeah, Champions League back today. We'll talk that with Paul Carr later.
So it'll be fun. We'll talk every single thing going on out there in the sports world, including us going through, giving our thoughts on some bets. If you're kind of parachuting in, if you were an NFL bettor or a college football bettor and you needed to wait for every single thing to be done and basically get through the All-Star break before you want to put in some bets, we have some thoughts on some bets that we at least think are interesting to put in the account. If you're coming in naked, you know.
Yep. Couple markets. It's always good exercise for us too, just as bettors, man. After go scroll through every market, right? See if we think are best bets, and some of these we just don't check in on as often as others. So yeah, I found one or two that I got intrigued by.
Yeah, I think it is pretty good. So we will go through all of that stuff, and of course, as always, you are more than welcome to join the show at Matt Brown M2, at Kelly Bidlin. So we'll anything that you want us to talk about, we'll try and talk about as well. But Kelly, as I'm driving in, I'm listening to Major League Baseball radio, and breaking news comes through that Tony Clark is going to step down as the head of the Players Union. Now, this is kind of on the heels of the fact that we found out that they have been under federal investigation about maybe some improprieties to what they did with the funds with the organization and all of that. But end of the day, you are talking about a guy that has kept labor peace since he has taken over at that role. And so, they happen to have Jason Stark on while this news is coming down. And, he being as shocked as everybody else. And then also just talking about there is absolutely no clear person to step in and take that role. There was no clear person who was next in line to take the gig because, again, nobody really thought that Clark was going to step down or have to step down. So a pretty big thing in Major League Baseball this morning when you do consider that there are a lot of things that people want them to talk about, namely this payroll situation, the fact that we're talking $400+ million over there in LA. What do they want to do? Are we going to finally get some sort of salary cap, some sort of crazy astronomical luxury tax, what it might be to try and level the playing field at least a little bit? Because, as we were kind of talking about as we've been doing some of these previews, teams are kind of almost pre-tanking, already before the season even starts. We'll talk about one of those today as we talk about the NL East, but it's pretty big news here this morning. And again, this will be developing. I'm sure we will get more throughout the course of the day.
Yeah, something we'll stay on top of during the show and on the network here today. But yeah, that collective bargaining agreement is set to expire December 1st. So this is real bad timing. And man, you would think I don't want to say baseball's had a resurgence, but it feels like that a little bit over. I think the past few years, at least, the seasons have been awesome. Man, between Major League Baseball and WNBA, there's the possibilities of work stoppages coming. It's just, it's always awful.
They were supposed to start their so they do a little press tour thing where they go to all different places. They were supposed to start that this morning, like the Players Association. Instead, they wake up to the fact that their guy is stepping down. So, so interesting stuff, to say the least, going on over there in Major League Baseball. And like we said, we're here for the next 3 hours. I promise you something will come through here that we'll be able to talk about and give you a little bit more. But this is Jeff Pass, and Tony Clark plans to resign as executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association. Clark's resignation comes in the wake of the Eastern District of New York's investigation into alleged financial improprieties at the union. So we'll see if anything comes through over the course of the next 3 hours. And if not, as Kelly said, the rest of the network will keep you up to date on everything going on there. In college basketball last night, three ranked teams, 2 ranked games that were going on. Duke absolutely throttled Syracuse, 101-64 in that one. Cam Boozer, 22 points on just 25 minutes, Kelly, 8 of 10 shooting. He also had 12 boards. He is leading the conference in double-doubles. Duke shot 62% from the field and 60% from three. You are not going to lose very many games in which you shoot 62% from the field and 60% from three.
Doesn't matter.
And let's just add on to that, they shot 72% in the second half.
That's absurd. That is absurd. That is a productive evening by Boozer, that's for sure, and the entire team. The shooting numbers,
basically a point a minute, a rebound every other minute.
Yeah, this is not dunking on Syracuse because you'll beat anybody if you put up those kind of shooting numbers.
Iowa State, we were talking about that game with Houston. They get a big home win, 70-67 there in that one, and You sent me the little text as you and I were saying, you know what? We're watching some college basketball tonight. We're going to make sure that we make this program good. And you even talked about the dagger in the game.
Old Nate Heese?
Yeah.
Heise? I don't even know how to say his name. But
dagger.
It was the quickest release I feel like I've ever seen on a jump shot ever for that three ball from him to put Iowa State.
That being said, it wasn't a walk-off. That was a minute 17 to play. Houston had two other opportunities to go in and at least tie this thing or try to win it, and instead they took a shot clock violation because unprofessional sports.
Yeah,
so,
unideal.
Unprofessional sports. And then they missed the shot with 4 seconds left that ended up losing them the game 70-67. But a fun one nonetheless.
Yeah, it was. And look, I know Kingston Flemings is supposed to be a high draft pick this year, but it's just – I was thinking about this when we were talking to Adam Burke yesterday, too. It is amazing, some of these programs. Houston, Virginia, right? Like, you set an identity, the defensive side of the ball, and you're always going to be able to recruit, a special kind of athlete with that wants to buy into that. It's just amazing that they don't stumble into more offensive talent, just by accident sometimes than they seem to do. But, it was kind of painful watching some of the stretches in that second half where both teams went on different runs at different points.
Also found out that Master Peace Kid played for Houston last night. Did you hear that on the broadcast?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I actually think I knew that.
Okay. Yeah, one of his 7. I mean, he has 7 kids, but yeah, one of his 7 kids.
There you go.
Plays for Houston. Not Lil Romeo, Mercy Miller.
Yes,
Mercy Miller, not Lil Romeo. U.S. women hockey beat Sweden 5-0. They'll face Canada for the gold. The U.S. have outscored their opponents 31-1. Is that good?
Yeah, that's not bad.
In hockey, pretty good. 31
get it done too.
31-1. And they're not just favorites in this one, Kelly. They are big favorites. We're talking in about the minus 450-ish range. We're talking like laying 2.5 goals on the puck line range type of favorites here.
Yeah, I like our chances.
It seems pretty good.
I like USA's chances there.
Jay Kahn's going to join us in here in a second. Guess what? You think we're not going to bring it up?
Oh, he's got thoughts.
That we're going to take him. No, that we're taking him in the north down.
Well, that's as we did last week. You get all the trash talk in now before the men's games arrive, right? Yeah,
that's what we're gonna do. And then over there in the Olympics as well, Elena Myers-Taylor became the oldest American woman to win gold at the Winter Olympics at 41 years old. She won the monobob.
I was gonna say in one of our favorite events, the
monobob,
getting it done
at 41 years old.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty.
Apparently multiple concussions that she has gotten from doing this and stuff and everything, was still able to.
So I guess that's the age part that would push you out of this sport, right? Mm-hmm. You're just like riding a out of control roller coaster for 20 years, and I'm sure the concussions rack up. Updated medal count, Norway. I was thinking about yesterday, Matt. Just good for Norway. Norway.
Sure.
They just dominate the Winter Olympics. Like, that's their thing. That's one of their things. Good for Norway.
Listen, you're born in snow. You live in snow. You wake up to snow every day. You go to bed to snow. What else are you going to do? You ski? You curl, you biathlon, you whatever, you do all these things. This is what you do.
What a gorgeous. We have biathlon on it here right now. Just amazing countryside that we're watching. But yeah, 28 total for Norway, 12 golds. We got 23 total for Italy with 8 golds. U.S. adds another gold to their tally, up to 6 now, 19 total. Netherlands, 12 with 6 golds, and Austria, 15 with 5.
Stuff I'm sure we will hear about a little bit throughout the course of the show as well. Today opens up franchise tags for the NFL team. Some players who might get tagged along the way. Kyle Pitts there with the Falcons. You got George Pickens that could get the franchise tag. Alec Pierce, who, by the way, went over 1,000 yards kind of quietly for that Colts team this year. A super good deep threat. Breece Hall possibly could get the tag. Odafe Owe, that being said, not sure the Chargers want to pay what will projected to be around $28 million for him. 27.8 seems to be the tag number.
Yeah, and I guess one way or the other, you would think they had a plan for this when they brought him in, right?
Yeah.
So his, I guess we shouldn't be surprised about either, whatever way it goes.
And then Kenneth Walker that we've talked about. That being said, GM John Schneider has used the franchise tag twice, Kelly, in 16 seasons of being there. He used it once on a kicker. And then once on Frank Clark, who then he traded. So to say that Ken Walker was going to get franchise tag was unlikely, and Adam Schefter actually comes in this morning and kind of brings that home, that it will unlikely be a franchise tag there for Kenneth Walker, which, by the way, for the running back position is going to run about $14.5 million. So Ken Walker might be on the move.
Yeah, it's just tough. We talked about that, last week, right? Like Kenneth Walker. It's just where we're at in the NFL these days, right? Like, he's a good running back. Fortunately, I don't think he's great, and we're talking a top 5 category, and it's just if you're not one of those top guys, then you're easily replaceable.
Yeah, it's a thing where I don't think the Colts will pay what the franchise tag will run for a wide receiver for Alec Pierce. And so I think that he's going to be an interesting dude that's going to hit the market, because if you're a team that feels like you've kind of got your wide receiver one, but you could use that kind of take the top off the take the top off guy, he's going to get a lot of interest. He's going to get a lot of interest.
You know what? This could become a drinking game this offseason if you're at home, but you know what my mind's going to right now, Matt? You got to find a number 1 option first. But Josh Allen in Buffalo, just air it out, man. I'm pretty sure Alec Pierce hasn't caught a ball for shorter than 27 yards in his entire career.
Yeah,
so, just get him on a team where he can be a deep threat. It's been impressive what he's done in Indianapolis.
A dude with an absolute cannon throwing to a guy who only catches 30-yard passes.
It just seems to make a lot of sense.
Seems like something that we would love to see as football fans.
But all of those plans with every wide receiver that they've brought in to do that role in Buffalo has just worked out fine over the years. So
the handsomest handicapper in hockey going to join us here on Jake Hahn on all things hockey.
There is no other college basketball betting analyst quite like it. His passion is unparalleled. He handicaps every game, every day, all season long. Sleep is not an option for him. He stays fresh by running 12 miles a day, every day, while doing his podcast and answering your tweets. He is Greg Hoops Peterson.
Tame the madness of March by catching Greg Peterson on VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on the next edition of Money Moves, join me, your boy, Femi Abebefe, and Ben Stevens as we break down the entire night of college basketball action, plus more NFL offseason news and some futures in Major League Baseball. We'll be joined by Adam Burke. VSiN's baseball guide drops tomorrow. Money Moves, 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network, now on SiriusXM channel 158. Check out the website for all of our betting tools and analysis, or get the VSiN Watch app.
Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
It is a numbers game here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Another shocking announcement here this morning we'll get to in about 15 minutes, Kelly Bidlin.
Okay.
There's the long tease for everybody out there who's look at you over here trying to sneak peek.
I'm looking at your screen.
You know what? Guess what? I hit it because I knew what you were going to do.
It's not that.
I know. I hit it because I knew.
I saw a golfer and I was like, well, this is something I want to know immediately.
No, I hit it because I knew what you were going to do. Not allowed to sneak peek over here.
Hey, man, you set up 4 screens. One of them is going to be pointing in my direction.
It's a tri-screen. Thank you very much. It is a tri-screen. I do not have 4. However, if I could get a little fourth one up there.
You've got plenty of room for 3 more on top.
It really would go. How awesome would that be?
Trying to think. You know what? It would even pass the television test. It wouldn't be too much that would be blocking your face.
Yeah, I don't think so. And, maybe the close-up would look a little, the close-up might look a little rough, but.
We have to go real tight.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I think it helps me bring the information a little bit better. So, it is what it is. You get the Twitter on the one. So that's what's normally.
Yeah, you need an odd. I get it.
And then you got the odd screen,
Twitter,
rundown, all the other stuff.
You're a well-organized man.
Yeah. Before we get to Jake, real quick, guys, if you have not done so already, become a VSiN Pro subscriber over there on VSiN.com. You can get going for as little as $9.99. We got the betting guide live today.
Let's go.
So for $9.99, you come in for a month and you can get the betting guide. So you might as well just go ahead and do that because it costs more than that a la carte, Kelly.
The Berkster's masterpiece.
Yeah. So go in. Greg Peterson, obviously, on college basketball. And we've got a bunch of golf stuff that are coming a little later today from Wes. And, of course, some Olympic hockey takes from Jonathan Davis as well. So, again, right now, VSiN.com/subscribe as little as $9.99 to get going. So let's not waste any more time. The most handsome handicapper in all of hockey, Jake Hahn, joining us here today. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great now. I'll never get sick of that intro, so I appreciate it. And I was up early this morning watching a little biathlon, the men's relay. I always get up for that event, watching a little curling as well. So the Olympic juices are flowing. There was some hockey early this morning. We've got 2 quarterfinals set already for Wednesday, which should be a great day of hockey action, and still 2 more qualification games to go today, guys. So I'm doing great now that I'm talking to you.
Oh, I appreciate it. But Jahan 4 over there on the Twitter machine, also the Fantasy Hockey Show and The Point over on SiriusXM.
Yep, absolutely. Love it. Jake, I don't want to mess around at all because we got a couple of those games starting here. About 20 minutes, Denmark and Czech Republic, and then Latvia and Sweden later on.
Czechia, Kelly. Get it right. Czechia.
It's listed both ways, okay? I don't know. I'm sorry. We'll jump in both those games. Let's start with Denmark and Czechia. How about that?
Yeah, so this might be the most entertaining of the qualification games today, guys. We have 4 games, 4 very heavy favorites. So far, it's gone to form. Switzerland beats Italy quite easily. Germany beats France quite easily. We expected those teams to not really put up much of a fight. I think the one underdog here that could put up a potential fight is Denmark, who's shown me quite a bit in this tournament so far. And the Czechs have been very disappointing. I think they do have some holes. Now, they also have some elite offensive talent up front, and that's why we do like the David Pastrnak goal here. I think we should see some offense in this game. Where I think the Czechs are weak is on the blue line. I looked at their blue line coming in. I did not like it. It has kind of held form. Now they do have some decent goaltenders, and that could be a strength of the Czechs here in a game like this, and possibly pulling off any upsets moving forward. But I like the over 5.5 in this game, guys. I like Denmark to stay within the goal spread. Plus 2.5 is the number I'm going with here. But if you want to get some plus money, you can play the plus 1.5. I think they could keep this game close. I do like Pastrnak to score a goal on the Czech side and shop the number, but Nick Ehlers to score a point in this game, so a goal or an assist. He's the top player for Team Denmark in this game. Minus 130 is the number I got. Shop it around because we're seeing some wild odds disparity across all sports books when it comes to Olympic hockey right now. So make sure you shop these numbers as best as you can.
Jake, are you implying that they don't have a ton of experience posting odds for international hockey? I like it, man.
The differences I've seen between sportsbook guys, we always obviously talk shopping numbers no matter what you're gambling on, but usually we're dealing with a couple of cents here, a couple of cents there, and you are always trying to find that best number. But it has been crazy for Olympic hockey. You're seeing some books post numbers at minus 350 where other books have it at minus 125, and I'm thinking, wow, this is just, we're not even in the same ballpark here. So make sure you got a few different sports books open when you're shopping some of this stuff.
About 4.5 hours after that, we will get Latvia and Sweden. This is currently, minus 1050 on the Sweden side, at least over at DraftKings, plus 675 if you like Latvia. What are you looking at here in this one?
I think Latvia can keep this relatively close, guys. Now, so we expect Sweden to win this game, and assuming Sweden does win this game, it sets up just a massive quarterfinal against the U.S. team, and one of those teams going to be going out early in the quarterfinals between Sweden and the U.S. So not the quarterfinal that either of them drew up. Now, Sweden still has to win this game to get there, and I do expect them to do so, although I think Latvia can put up a bit of a fight. They tend to be a team that can get some good goaltending, can sort of muck things up in these tournaments, and at the very least not get blown out in these hockey games. And Sweden has been disappointing. Now, it does feel like they've found something maybe over the weekend. They beat Slovakia, but they didn't beat Slovakia by enough to win the group. It ends up being the Slovaks that take the group on goal differential. So I feel like maybe even though Sweden didn't get the result they wanted on Saturday, I think they played their best game of the tournament, maybe build a little bit of momentum into this game. So I still like them to get through to that quarter, potentially against the U.S. And you're looking for some value. It's sort of take your pick. There's a lot of different Swedes you could go to for a goal. Adrian Kempe is a top line guy, top power play guy, and he's priced accordingly. But I think the number for Lucas Raymond is really interesting here. You can find him close to 2-1 for your money on a goal. A guy that's going to be playing top 6 minutes. He's on the first power play for Sweden. And for my eyes, he's probably been the best Swedish player in this tournament, at least the best Swedish forward, maybe outside of Rasmus Dahlin on the back end. So I like the value on Raymond, and I think Latvia plus 3.5 just to not get blown out in this game against Sweden.
3 in the hook. Always got to get the hook. It's important. I like it. Jake, on Germany, minus 110 tomorrow against Slovakia in the quarterfinals. Want to get to some NHL here, Jake. So quickly on the women's gold medal game or medal games here coming up on Thursday. What are you liking there?
Yeah, like you said, there's a couple quarterfinal odds set on the men's side. I do like Germany on the initial look at basically a pick 'em against Slovakia. The Slovaks have been a great story in this tournament, and Germany has been underwhelming for me, a team I really like coming in, but I think they found something the last couple games. I liked what I saw this morning against France, so I like the Germans there. And in the women's medal games, Kelly, on Thursday, I mean, I'm going to miss playing these because we've only got 2 games left, but women's hockey unders have been just a treat throughout the course of the last week and a half. A lot of low-scoring games. A lot of these teams outside of Canada and the U.S. have really struggled to score. Even Canada really has struggled to score. It's really been the U.S. has been the only consistent team in this tournament. So I expect the U.S. to win the game quite comfortably, as the odds suggest. But I think if Canada has any chance, it's got to stay low-scoring. And generally, the games between these two teams have been lower scoring when we get into the gold medal game. Under 5.5 is going to be my play there. I see it as like a 4-1 U.S. win, something like that in that range. And maybe Canada can muck it up long enough to keep the game close into the third period. And I like the under 4.5. You get plus money on it in Switzerland and Sweden. Again, 2 teams that really struggle to score. And Switzerland could be a sneaky underdog in this game to actually win the bronze medal. But I'm going to play the under 4.5. I see this game as 2-1 for one of these teams.
Jake, how can it stay under 5.5 goals when we're going to beat you 10-0? How can it possibly stay under 5.5 goals?
Yeah, in that case, then yeah, I think my under 5.5 might be cooked. And honestly, Matt, you're right. If this under is going to get cooked, it won't be Canada winning 4-2 or something like that. There's no way that this Canadian women's team can score more than 2 goals, in my opinion, on this U.S. team. The U.S. team has only allowed 1 goal in the entire tournament in 6 games, and that was in the first game of the tournament. They haven't allowed a goal in 5 games. That's how good this team is defensively. Now, Canada's probably the only team that can test them, but we saw them play in the round robin. They did not test them at all, guys. I don't even remember a quality chance in that game for Canada. So I struggle to think that Canada can score more than 1 or 2 goals, and it should be the U.S. winning that comfortably by 2 or 3.
All right, Matt, I've worked out the odds here. So what's going to happen is a little friendly side bet with Jake Hahn for whenever we see him in person, right?
Yes.
If the U.S. wins, he's going to buy each of us a Yingling. And if Canada wins, we're going to buy him 3 Molsons each.
Okay.
He probably would prefer a Kokanee. He'd probably prefer Kokanee. Kokanee better than, would you say? Yeah, Kokanee.
I'll take any beer as long as it's cold, but I love me a good Molson. So that's a deal. That's a deal, Kelly. I think I have a feeling I'm going to be the one paying up, but I'd be happy to buy you guys a nice Yingling.
All right, we got a minute, Jake, before we get out of here. Whenever we get back to the NHL side of things, is there a team in your opinion, people should keep an eye on?
So, guys, I look at the Eastern Conference here. So there's two kind of top dogs in the East, and it's Tampa and it's Carolina. We're not really surprised to see those two teams there. And I think they deserve to be the favorites going into the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. But I also think it's a conference you can maybe find a good number on somebody else that could potentially go on a run. I think the West, the top teams are probably going to end up going through. I just look at, you look at Montreal Canadiens 11-1 to possibly win the Eastern Conference. I don't think that's a bad number for a team that's really shown me something that could possibly push some chips in the middle at the deadline. And a team I've got my sneaky eye on coming out of the break as well. It's actually a team that's not even in a playoff spot right now in the Washington Capitals. 25-1 right there to win the Eastern Conference. Could be worth a sprinkle. If they get in, I think they could end up being that dangerous team. It's been disappointing so far, but I still like this Capitals roster. There's certainly a path for them to get into the playoffs, and if they do, I think there's some value in that number.
He is Jake Hahn. You got him on The Point, the Fantasy Hockey Show, also the NHL Fantasy on Ice podcast as well, at JHahn4 over on the Twitter machine. Thanks for the time, buddy, and good luck.
Awesome, boys. Good luck this week, and we'll talk soon.
When we come back, we got an announcement here about some people who are going to punch face, and that came out of nowhere, Kelly Bid, and we'll let you know who it is.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big. We go all night. And here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network. A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
A numbers game here on VSiN. Wait a minute, are they holding hands as they're doing this? Is this?
I don't know.
Is this like train skating?
No, they're keeping like one hand on the back. I think it's NASCAR speed skating. That's what I'm talking about. Like you got to draft, right? So you got to stay up tight.
Another day, another new event that I did not know existed.
Yeah, I think it's team speed skating. That's what we got.
Well,
USA, let's go.
Who knew?
This is for a medal? I need gold medals. Let's go, USA. I got over 12.5.
We'll see if it's even possible a little later. We'll talk to Drew.
Yeah.
See what he thinks about all that.
Yeah, he's going to kill my hopes and dreams.
Let's pay off the tease here. So we wake up to an announcement that Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano are both coming out of retirement to fight an MMA fight on Netflix. We talked about Logan Paul yesterday. This is the Jake Paul production. So it's not the Pikachu seller, but the boxer is going to put on a Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano MMA fight over on Netflix.
Well, that sounds like just initial reaction, Matt. This is just a hell of a return to the sport by both women, and definitely not a cash grab whatsoever.
This also lets me know that if this, I guess this has already gotten approved by an athletic commission and all. Like Ronda Rousey basically retired and like had to quit doing even WWE and stuff because she had so many concussions.
Yeah, I thought I remembered quite a bit of injuries.
So this doesn't seem like this fight is going to go much longer than like 2 minutes because she's either just going to throw Carano to the ground and armbar her, or she's going to get knocked out on the first real punch that hits her in the head. Very early under lean for Matt Brown. like we don't even have the odds like posted or whatever. Like it just got announced, but like here it is. I'm going to go ahead and give you the early lean to under here on that one.
Man, that's I just had to confirm. Most notably about this matchup is it features two former Fast and the Furious stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, both of them were in movies. I had to double check that, but both of them were in movies.
Maybe this is
Fast
all just
and the Furious. Not going to get anything by me on
maybe
that
this
one.
is all just a ruse, and it's actually a Fast and the Furious 11 or Fast and the Furious 15 or whatever they're up to.
They can at least use bits of it for the upcoming movies, right? So we get a camera out there.
There we go. I mean, out of nowhere, if you'd have said, "Hey, there's two people that are retired in MMA, they're going to come out and they're going to fight each other," it would have taken me 2 hours before I got to Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey.
I know you have worked so closely with the sport forever, and it's just. I think what's always been tough for me, it's just every individual sport needs star power, right? And it's a lot harder to maintain star power in a sport where you're beating the crap out of each other, right? Scotty Scheffler, once again, he doesn't have to worry about someone tackling him from the crowd like a Daytona 500. You don't have to worry about fighting someone at the end of the day. It's tough, and I understand when MMA tries to go grab former names like this for stuff like it.
Don't want to derail our NL East conversation here, but I will say that this coming through right now, Anthony Richardson is expected to pursue a trade. So he wants out of Indy. So here we go. Let it begin.
I brought this up before, and I feel like I got laughed at. He's going to get they're going to get something for trading him?
Well, I mean, that's no.
Okay.
It'll be a Justin Fields, situation where you get a 6th rounder or something, whatever Justin Fields brought. Basically,
Fields was better than that, wasn't he?
The failed first-round quarterback who wants a change of scenery, that whole deal. But he wants out, apparently. So we'll see if he ends up anywhere. But it's the same thing we keep bringing up, Kelly. There are not a lot of teams that need quarterbacks.
He's look, I'm not going to sit here and defend Anthony Richardson. Might have burnt money on 2 MVP tickets on him over years for long odds, obviously. Yeah. Someone takes a chance on that arm, right? Like for a backup. I'm not saying right now he's not a legit starter.
No, the ship has sailed on him.
Maybe there's a comeback in a year or two or something. But you got to get to a team that actually you could work with and actually prove something to some people.
But it kind of goes to the point of. And the other thing that came out yesterday, too, is one of the beat writers for Pittsburgh said that a source told him that they think that Aaron Rodgers is going to come back, but they have asked him to let them know by the 23rd. So about like a week from now.
I'm always shocked when stuff like that gets leaked publicly.
Yeah.
Like I would assume.
So that's one more job that's not open.
Right. I kind of, I guess I'd be a little surprised. I was listening. I know you were leaning more towards him retiring, right? Yeah. JVT, I know I heard yesterday, man, he didn't even think it was worth a conversation. He thought he was done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give up. I think we see Rodgers another year.
Well, I mean, again, according to this beat writer, they're leaning towards thinking that he would be back, but they have asked him to let them know in like a week.
I mean, that I would hope. I would hope that player and organization could work that way together, right? Like the organization needs to know at some point. They need to know,
and especially considering again the whole landscape change there, the new coach thing, the new whatever. Like you can't drag this out like you did before. Like this needs to be out there, and you need to get ahead of this. So we'll see how that all plays out. But some interesting NFL stuff coming down really quickly here as we are getting news that Anthony Richardson wants out of town. We'll see what they can get. I mean, like, whatever. We'll see what they can get.
I just hope he lands on a fun team. I want to see him get a shot. I want to see him on a team with a horrible quarterback situation. So maybe we see that cannon at some point this year. As long as he doesn't take his job from Jameis Winston.
Well, that's the thing.
This is a problem.
There's only one spot that might actually give him a shot because it doesn't matter anyway, and that would be the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, I mean...
Yeah, well, you're thinking Dolphins are they're using the Quinn Ewers ear?
This is the Quinn Ewers ear? I think if you're moving on from Tua, you saw enough in Quinn Ewers to at least give him a shot. So I think that's going to be the case for them.
Now, we're just trading people here, but if Arizona moves on for Kyler, I don't think they have that same kind of backup, automatic go-to, right?
Yeah.
But if we're talking about moving on from Kyler, where does he end up? He ends up with the Jets or
you
whatever.
Move from one mobile, inaccurate quarterback to another mobile, inaccurate quarterback. Like, I don't think you go from Kyler Murray to Anthony Richardson.
No, you don't. I'm just trying to think.
Base, here's a worse version of what you just had. Here you go. Here's a worse version of what we just had.
I was just trying to think of possibilities of teams he could end up on.
Let's just trot him out there. We're like, no, it's a taller version of Kyler Murray. And they're like
and less athletic.
Yeah,
he's not running like Kyler Murray's running.
Yeah, I don't think that they can sell that one either. It's wild that I guess his agent, I can only assume, has at least had some sort of secret conversations to think that there's some interest in him somewhere, but we shall see, as we always say.
There's plenty of bad quarterbacks still in the NFL, right? Like, I mean, Cleveland, Tennessee, all these jobs got figured out. Like, this is Mendoza stepping in day one for the Raiders. No problem. I don't know. I'm not trying to argue for Anthony Richardson, which I know a lot of people listening to this show is going to take me as arguing for Anthony Richardson. Point is, there's a lot of bad quarterback situations still. Someone could crack into that conversation.
So we'll hold off on we'll get to the NL East a little bit later here, Kelly, because we did not get to the story that we might as well spend 3 minutes on here, which Mike Trout is going to return to center field.
Oh, good.
For the Angels. And by the way, started 22 of their first 29 games in right field and then got hurt and then didn't play in the outfield again for the rest of the season.
Yep.
He just stayed in the DH spot, and yet he wants to move back to center field. And here's the thing. Honestly, I felt like when I was in center, it was less on my body than the corners. To be honest, right field, I felt like I was running a lot, but it's like a preference thing. Talking to some other outfielders, they're saying that they feel the same way sometimes. Center is less on your legs.
Matt put these quotes in our rundown. I was just reading these this morning, and this was just the look on my face.
I'm like, Mike Trout, I'm never going to question you. You are a likely Hall of Famer, all of that, but
I'm not sure.
There's a reason we have had multiple kind of like slow fat guys play corner outfield positions.
Even when you're like, 10.
Yeah. To say there's less running in the center field, I don't know if that really tracks, but apparently he lost 5 pounds in the offseason to try to lighten the load on those legs of his, Kelly Bidlin.
I mean, there's no doubt he can't do it, right?
Yes.
Like, I believe Mike Trout you could do it. It's just weird to say that.
And he's going to spend the next 5, so he's not going to play in the World Baseball Classic. He is going to spend the next 5 weeks getting reacclimated to center field. at the Angels complex down in Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
why
again,
wouldn't you spin this more as like, hey, I belong in center field, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm the guy. I've got to control everything going on in the outfield. This is where I've always belonged. That's the way I'd spin
The
it.
Angels are 250 to 1 to win the World Series, by the way, to let you know the kind of state of that team. It's only the Rockies, White Sox, and Nationals have worse odds.
And it's just Mike Trout is just one of the toughest conversations.
It's
in
going to be
sports, right?
it's going to be an awful 30 for 30 one day on ESPN
yes.
on Mike Trout
Yes.
because it's going to be the what could have been type thing.
Right.
Because when he was in his prime, had he basically been on almost any other team, there's no telling.
And you know what happens if you get change in ownership or anything like that, right? Ohtani sticks around. Who knows what happens?
Yeah, it's just a super rough situation for that whole deal. But Mike Trout trying to move back to center, guy can't run anymore. He didn't even try to steal bases. He can go back to center field. Let's talk some college basketball with Matty Cox when we come back.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Prop Points takes you to the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports with hosts Jeff Erickson and Nick Whalen of RotoWire.
He's the one that's the trendiest. He's the one that's going the earliest of the three, and in some leagues I've seen him go as early as the second round.
The one thing that stood out to me here is, value-wise, I would take a look at Dorian Finney-Smith over 2.5 boards.
They'll help you find the connection between the two and give you expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Matt Brown and Mike. Oh my God, I almost did it, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Kelly Bidlin. Happy Mardi Gras. See, here's because I had an M in my. I was going to say Happy Mardi Gras whenever we came in because it is Fat Tuesday, which you learned yesterday. That's what Mardi Gras means,
bro. It is. I thought about that way too much yesterday. I'm like, how did I not know this?
That's exactly what it means. And if anybody out there, by the way,
how did I not even think about it? That was what troubled me more yesterday. Was I didn't know this. How have I not really wondered about it before? I really can't remember last time I had.
If you've ever, and here's another thing, if you've ever wondered what it would be like to watch the World Soccer Championship sitting in a pool that's heated to 80 degrees while it's plastered along the side of a gigantic building outside of Las Vegas, you can do that if you win the Circa's giveaway that we're doing here, World Soccer Championship Experience. Circa Resort and Casino, you're going to get 2 nights at Circa, a cabana up there at Stadium Swim, like we just said, $500 while you're up there, Kelly.
I've gone through $500 there.
And then $250 while you're down here roaming around the casino.
That's like $750.
Yeah.
And a round of celebratory cocktails at the Legacy Club.
And by the way, how do you get here? Via limo. That's how you get here. So you can get all of that if you head to circalasvegas.com and enter the World Soccer Championship Challenge over there. So we'll see what's going on with that. Can you imagine? That'd be a great way to watch what I didn't know that we couldn't say World Cup. I didn't know we couldn't say that. I had no idea we couldn't say it.
Yeah, it got me either. I learned that as well.
Yeah.
To be honest, the first week that we did this, I thought it was maybe Champions League final we were talking about.
I didn't know.
The big one.
We can say World Cup.
Tournament.
We can say World Cup when we're not promoting anything. So we can now move into that. I was like, I just didn't know we couldn't say World Cup.
It was news to me as well.
Maybe Matt Cox knew you couldn't say World Cup. I don't know. We'll find out right now. Yeah, part of 3-Man Weave at Matty_Cox over there on the Twitter machine. He is, in fact, Matt Cox. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm bewildered as to the limitations with the tournament that is not to be named.
Yes, exactly.
But that's awesome. Circa's the best. I'll add a secondary endorsement to that plug. So
yeah,
check it out, folks.
It was interesting when we read it the first time. I was like, oh, can't say World Cup. I knew the whole Super Bowl part of the stuff, but I didn't know World Cup.
I went for.
I didn't know World Cup was so protective. Yeah, you only come around every 4 years. You should want to scream in World Cup.
You would think so.
From the top of a mountain, you would think, but whatever. It's fine. Not my product. Before we get into your picks tonight, Matty, did you learn anything last night from Iowa State and Houston?
No. Both teams are awesome. Iowa State, especially at home, what they can lean into that electrical charge crowd. I mean, that's just I've always said I don't know if I like Iowa State's ceiling as much. And I don't like to hearken on the priors of previous seasons because every team is so different now. But just they're at their best because they can play so hard and their energy and their defensive. Offensively, I do have some slight concerns in terms of just like putting them in what I would say, Michigan, Arizona, and quite frankly, Florida tier at this point. So I think Houston's still a cut above Iowa State. I'd probably pick them to win a best of 7. But no, both teams are terrific, and that was awesome basketball.
Matt, you got a bunch going tonight. I love that I got to start here because I'm pretty sure you were picking on Air Force last week, too. We're going right back to it this week, laying a big number with New Mexico.
Big number. Air Force they've actually been taking money the last few games. I don't really get why. They got like one of their key guards back, but situation's pretty simple. It's an interim coach. Joe Scott is suspended. They've actually started to kind of change up their style. So they used to play a bunch of, more the quintessential Princeton offense. And now they've like trying to just sort of play normal, pick and roll, spread and shred basketball, which with lesser talent, I just think that's a recipe for disaster. And that's kind of what it has been the last few games. I don't usually do this where I kind of fade a team for 5-6 in a row or auto bet on a team, but this is, an example where I'm trying to kind of stick to my guns here. But I think the market's still not quite caught up to the downward trajectory of our fine servicemen of the air.
20, just got to keep it within 28, guys.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the pep talk before the game? Like, we're definitely going to lose, but can you keep this within 4 touchdowns? Is that possible?
They've covered 8 games this year.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on there. All right, Matty, let's head to Akron and Western Michigan.
Yeah, another bully bet for me here. I like the Zips on the road. Talked about this a little bit before, but large road favorites in the month of February have been a pretty good bet the last few seasons. So since we've kind of transitioned to this portal era where I think you have these bad teams start to think about what's next for their spring and summer portal adventures versus the good teams who I think are just more dialed in. You get this, I think, sharper diversion where I think the margin between the good and the haves and the have-nots is starting to sharpen. So that's kind of angle I'm leaning into here. I think Akron, who scored at will against Western Michigan in the first matchup, does so again, and their defense tightens up in what should be basically a negligible home court value here. So, yeah, I like the Zips to lay it.
Matt, I'm going to circle back to something you just said. Is that really a thing that you think is going on here recently in college basketball, and you kind of expect to go forward? Some of these teams kind of checking out a little early on the season?
Yeah, I mean, we're just tracking Trilly Donovan's portal rumor list. You already see, I think, more and more tampering and kind of back channel discussions, teams, players trying to get ahead of the curve in terms of where they're going to be next year, right? Like, I think you see earlier coaching firings, earlier coaching hirings. You don't want to be the coach or that regime that makes the transition late in the cycle. That just trickles down to players and just, I think, the mentality and the cycle, the psyche of a lot of these guys where they have eligibility to transfer. They're not happy where they are. They know they can probably go somewhere else. If you're under 500 in the MAC right now, or you're trending toward not making the conference tournament, or just basically, you feel like, you're not going anywhere. I just think that bleeds into a lot of these kids' heads. So I think that's kind of what you'll start to see. I think some of these favorites, which used to be kind of bad bets late in the season, actually be decent bets because of that kind of phenomenon that's starting to creep into the game.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Again, that's hypothesis speculation. Right. I'm still in the testing phase of that, but yeah.
I mean, it checks out, right? I think it's something to to track here in these couple years. All right, we got staying in the MAC, Ball State and Ohio catching points in this one for you.
I like Ball State. Funny, this is sort of going against the other way. Ball State, I was worried might be teetering on the verge of waving the white flag. Their coach is on the hot seat right now, Mike Lewis. But they've got some key guys back. They played much more competitively lately. One name is Caden Fish, guy who started at Iowa State. It's a team that all year has just been, frankly, disastrous, but it's because they haven't been healthy. They've had like 3 or 4 guys playing through injuries. I think Lewis did the smart thing, kind of saved his horses until this stretch run. And you just kind of see what they've done recently. They've just been much more competitive. So I think in this game, they match up pretty well with Ohio. I think it's close. I think they keep this competitive.
Matt, I know this isn't one of your official plays, but we do have a big showdown, Michigan and Purdue, about a 2.5-point spread there in that one, Michigan on the road. Any thoughts, any leans, anything that you hated about the game?
I leaned to Michigan. It's funny, the last time Purdue was a home dog in conference play was 2021 against Michigan, and I think it got throttled in that game, but just kind of speaks to how good Matt Painter's been at Purdue and how rare of a situation this is. My numbers liked Purdue, but again, the schematics, the matchup with how athletic and dominant Michigan is at the rim, Purdue's kind of struggled with that. If anything, I think I like the over the most. I think both offenses are going to have success here, both hyper efficient with decent avenues to score back and forth.
Matt, we're going to roll back. I know you got one more bet that you're looking at tonight, but I'm all about that MACtion, so I got a question for you here. Miami, Ohio. Are we really talking about an undefeated season here? They got the prop list, and it's like plus 225 I've seen out there. What do you think happens here?
Well, I got to run the Sims to see if that's a decent price, but I think tonight's a tough matchup, man. UMass almost got them in the first meeting. Frank Martin's team is, he brought this team from the A10. They look like a more athletic MAC team. Like usually the A10 is just a cut above the MAC. UMass has A10 caliber talent. A couple guys that actually transferred down. They're very athletic, right? And I think that sort of could be a kryptonite to Miami. But defensively, they're very helter-skelter. They're very discombobulated. Miami can shred them on the other end as well. So again, another one where I'm kind of leaning toward the over here. But this is the one, feels like the obvious landmine spot for Miami coming down the stretch. I think they play a couple better teams, but this is just sort of a tough, tricky matchup. UMass is just a thorn in the side because you don't know what you're going to get. I don't think any MAC teams like playing them, frankly.
All right, about a minute left. We got Southeast Missouri State and UT Martin, and you were going to play the dog there on the money line.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not exactly playing the hits here for viewership purposes. But
winners are winners, buddy. It doesn't matter.
That's right. Winners are winners. Mm-hmm. I like the Red Hawks tonight against the Battle of the Hawks.
Wow.
SEMO's just playing a lot better lately. They've gotten healthier. They've kind of figured out their rotation. And this is actually a critical game. They win this, they're tied with Martin for first place in the OVC, one of those leagues that stacks the deck heavily for their favorites, much like the WCC. So every game you're coming down the stretch is huge. I like the road team to get it done.
He is Matt Cox, part of Three Man Weave over there at Matty_Cox on the Twitter machine. Appreciate the time, buddy, and good luck.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate you.
So coming through, we said we might get some news here, Kelly, as we were on air with some of these things going through. It is the Jets are likely to franchise tag Breece Hall. So they're going to keep him around. Listen, they kind of had to do it, right? I mean, they got nobody. It's him and Garrett Wilson, and he's one of two players anybody even knows.
Yeah.
You didn't really have a choice, I don't think.
I guess.
Before you just completely lose the fan base.
I mean, it's one of those where you're like, yeah, now you're probably right. Like, they have the money, they have the